The spell at DC United over 2 seasons did go pretty good if you were to ask me, as we rebuilt the worst team in MLS to a pretty solid squad. As we can see here, we will go through it a bit later on, but when we can take a look at the table, we took over when they were last. We were at 2 seasons and rebuilt DC United into a team that finished 5th in the Eastern Conference, and then of course won in the first round of the playoff rounds in the MLS against New York City. Then we also beat Cincinnati in the semifinals. However, our journey ended in the final conference finals against Atlanta United, but we rebuilt the worst team in MLS into one of the best 4 teams in the whole country, which I would say has been a pretty solid rebuild. And when we take a look at the squad as well, it was a very weak squad when we came the manager, but we can see we created and made some big signings such as Haji Wright, Sargent, Sarmiento joined Fred, Kremashi, Maguire, Bayrin as well, and then we had some decent players here from before we joined, such as Schnegg, Kim Jung-hong, Rolls, Barayas as the right midfielder as well. And I'm very happy with the team that we created here at DC United, but now it's time for a new team. Unfortunately, we went trophyless in the MLS. Hopefully, our new club, we can win some trophies, but let's see which country and which team we will join next. But as we can see, we reached the conference finals in the MLS, and we also went out early in the US Open Cup. It's a shame that we didn't make any better runs in the cup, but the main goal was to rebuild the team. Unfortunately, that ended trophyless, but we created a pretty solid MLS team. And as we can see, we are the new manager of Celtic in the Scottish League, and it's a big move from the United States and DC United to a Celtic team who has been struggling a bit and are now behind Rangers. And we can see at the table here, Celtic are finding themselves 7 points behind Rangers. They needed a new manager because for Celtic that is unacceptable. They've lost 5 games in just 22 league games so far this season, so they needed a new man at the job, and here we are to take Celtic back to the Scottish glory and to win against Rangers. It may be difficult in the first season, I am not sure yet, but I'm sure we can create or make Celtic the greatest team in Scotland once again. And this is the team at Celtic we are taking over, and we have some very good players. As we can see, we have Carter Rickers, who is 81, Matty Cash has joined Celtic, Trusty is still here, we have Bernardo and Engels as the 2 midfielders who are both extremely good. We have Kuhn on the right, Maeda on the left, Ida up top, and of course club captain McGregor in the defensive midfield role as well. And we also have some quality players on the bench such as Hatate, McAwen is pretty alright, Scales is decent, we have Yang Hyun Yoon as a right wing and left wing. Then we also have Jota, who can also play on both sides, and I'm actually gonna put him in the starting 11 instead of Maeda, simply because I think Jota is a fun player to use. He is have 5-star skills, and when he was at Celtic in his first spell, he was absolutely incredible, so I'm excited to use him. But we have a solid squad, but when we take a look at the left back position, we only have Ismail, who is like, how old is he now? 36. And we have Montgomery, who is 24 years old but just 69 rated. So the first thing we will do is to sign a new left back. Our new left back, it is the former Celtic wonder kid who went to Arsenal, which unfortunately didn't work out as everyone hoped for, but in real life he's now back at Celtic after joining them on a free, and we had to bring him back in this Journeyman career mode as well. It is of course Kieran Tierney, who is back at the club after we signed him from Stuttgart for 12.6 million euros. And it looks much better now with a 78 rated left back, and now everyone in the starting 11 is above the rating of 74. I do think I will look to sign for a goalkeeper as well, but before that we have to sell some players, and we don't need all of these players we have in the team. We have a way too big squad, so let's get rid of some players and also find a new goalkeeper. And we can actually see we are also in the Champions League. I didn't know Celtic were in these competitions, but we are, and we have 2 more games to go. As things currently stand, we are 24th place, which means we will go through the playoff rounds barely, but we have a game against Dinamo Zagreb and a game against Benfica, so it will not be too difficult to maybe go through to the next round, but it won't be easy either, so we need to be at it. But it's a nice surprise to see that we are a Champions League club. Can we win our first game in charge as the Celtic manager in the first round of the Scottish Cup? Yes, we do. We beat Hibernian 2-1. Can we beat Dinamo Zagreb as well as make it 2-2? No, it's a 2-2 draw. Our first Scottish Premier League game is against Dundee United and we win 2-1. Not 2-0, sorry. Our second and final signing of the first transfer window here as the Celtic boss. It is a new goalkeeper who is now 34 years old, so he is on the older side and are looking to get regular game time. It is of course Nick Pope who will help us improve at the back hopefully. We have lost way too many games, or Celtic have, before we joined. So it was needed a new goalkeeper, and that is Nick Pope, who we signed from Newcastle for just 4 million euros. And we have a game, or Champions League game, against Benfica up next. And as we can see, we are still 24th in the league phase, which means we probably have to win the game against Benfica in order for us to qualify for the playoff round. And yes, Benfica are behind us with the same amount of points as well. So no matter what we do, we have to win, because I don't think a draw will be enough, because Atletico Madrid will probably win their game. But if they don't, maybe Malmö and the Romanian side won't either. But in order to be 100% safe, we must win against Benfica. It will be difficult, but if we can do it, it will be very, very nice. So Nick Pope is going straight into the starting 11 against Benfica. It will be a massive game at Celtic Park. But we have a good squad, we have a very good starting 11, but so do probably Benfica, so it will not be easy. Come on Celtic. And Benfica got a free kick in a dangerous position here. It's Sheldrup who passes it to Diarra. Diarra, can he shoot? He shoots, but a big save by Nick Pope on his Celtic debut. And it's all Benfica as things stand. Sheldrup once again, and no one goes on him. He just gets as much time and space as he wants, and Sheldrup have sent Benfica into the lead, and this can be a very costly goal for Celtic. Jota to Aida. Aida looks for Kuhn. It's a alright pass here, we keep the ball well. Tierney, go on the overlap, there we go. Maybe we can have someone in the middle, we don't, so we just keeps it well. Bernardo, who will probably leave the club because he's unhappy, tries the shot. Apollo with the save. Sheldrup to Arsnes with a decent attempt actually, but Carter Vickers reads it perfectly, and now we go on the attack. Kuhn, you have pace, you got pace, you look for Aida in the middle. Aida, he tries the shot, Aida, but another good save by Apollo. Can we create something from the corner? It's a good corner by Angels, and Carter Vickers header go outside. Diarra down the right for Benfica. Diarra against Tierney. He gets past Tierney. Now Pavlidis. Do not let him shoot. Do not let Sheldrup shoot either. And we do. And Sheldrup have scored a brace. The Norwegian left winger has probably destroyed Celtic's hopes of going through to the playoff stages of the Champions League with a good strike on his weaker foot. And it's another goal where it's just way too easy for him. We are way too late up in the press, and he got all the time in the world once again. Hopefully we can score one goal at least to create some hope here at Celtic Park. What can we do? We find Maeda down the left. He tries the cross. Is no one there? No one is there, of course. Maybe you can keep up the pressure. Angels, you got this. Well done. To Kuhn. Engels go on the run, down the right. Engels, and it's a goal. It's some hope at Celtic Park, thanks to a goal from, I can't remember his first name, but it's Engels, the Belgian central midfielder, with what can be a very important goal. At least we have something to play for in the last 15 minutes of the game. Diarra, Pavlidis, and Benfica, they have won it there. They have taken all excitement out of the game. We scored in the 74th minute. Just a couple of minutes later, Benfica go up the other end and score. We were way too attacking focused there, and it's another easy goal for Benfica. I'm not a fan of what I've seen defensively from this Celtic team. However, we got to remember we are against a very good Benfica side. And Benfica on the attack once again. Sheldrup to Jurasek. Jurasek with the shot, but Pope with the save. Tierney with a good ball to Aida, but that is a big tackle by Thomas Arroyo. Diarra to Ba. Ba to Sheldrup, who looks for its hat-trick, and Sheldrup have scored 3 against Nick Pope and makes it 4 for Benfica, who have destroyed Celtic at Celtic Park. And Benfica have won 4-1 because we don't have any time left to create or get something from this game. It's a shame our Champions League journey unfortunately ends in the league phase with a 4-1 loss against Benfica. And that's also all the transfer business done for the first transfer window here at Celtic in the January window. And we've sold a lot of players. Some players I wanted to keep, but we had a way too big squad, and unfortunately one of our key players and highest rated players was unhappy at the club, which meant we had to sell him as well. But we can see we of course brought in Kieran Tierney and Nick Pope. Navrowski has gone to Stuttgart in Austria. Kwon Hyok Kyu has gone to Al Ittihad. Scales has gone to Ajax. Daniel Cummings has gone to El Ittifaq. Tilio has made a very controversial move to join Rangers for 3.5 million. Turley has gone to this team right there. I don't know which team that is, sorry. Lager Bielek has gone to Genk. And the big boy, this big sale which I didn't want to make, but he was unhappy at the club, was Paulo Bernardo, who has gone from Celtic to Nottingham Forest for 39.1 million. It's a big loss, but we will not replace him, because when we take a look at the squad very quickly here, I am trusting the players we have left, which means that Hatate will go back into the starting 11 and play in the middle. So hopefully that is the smartest thing to do. I don't want to make too many signings, and as Hatate is still a very solid player, I do think he deserves to be our new starter in the midfield, as we have McOwen and also Holm on the bench as well. So our depth in the middle isn't too bad. But here is also the confirmation that we are out of the Champions League. Celtic finished 28th place. Actually, Dortmund are also out, which is a big surprise. Same for Athletic Bilbao and Frankfurt as well. But yeah, we don't care about those. We are out of the Champions League, which is a shame. But yeah, it's not really too surprising, as we aren't even leading the Scottish Premiership. However, I do believe we have gotten closer to Rangers, as they have picked up another draw while we have won our 2 games here at the club. So the gap is now just 5 points. And we can see Maeda has actually been insane for Celtic this season. 32 games, 24 goals and 10 assists. Maybe it's the wrong decision for me to play Jota instead. Where is Jota? He has just played 2 games, so he's not got any game time under the previous manager, and it's not really surprising because Maeda has been absolutely insane with 24 goals and 10 assists. Adam Aida, I would like to see more from him when we are now the manager. 9 goals and 8 assists isn't ideal from the striker. Kuhn has scored 11 goals and got 9 assists, Arne Engels, 7 goals, 0 assists. Hatate, 6 goals, 2 assists. So I do want to see some more assists from our central midfielders as well. But now let's get into more games, and hopefully we can get the revenge on Rangers by beating them, which will be our next game we will play. However, we got some more games before that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 league games before the big game against Rangers. So let's pick up at least 4 wins, and hopefully we can stay unbeaten as well. We take on Hearts away, and can we start a good run? It's unfortunately just a 1-1 draw. Hibernian is up next, who we of course beat in the Scottish Cup, and we win 2-1. Up next it is St Mirren in the Scottish Cup, and it's a 2-2 draw, which means it will be penalties. Did we go through or not against St Mirren? Or it's a 2-leg? Okay, it's a 2-leg. It's a replay. It's a replay, I see. It's a replay in the quarterfinals. So we got another chance against St Mirren, which will be a home game. So hopefully we can beat them then. St Johnstone away from home is up next, and we win 2-0. Kilmarnock is the next Scottish Premiership game, and it's a 2-2 draw. Ross County at home have to be a win if we want to win the league, and we win 3-2. And next up it is Rangers. As we can see by the table, we have done a very good job here at Celtic. We are now just 3 points behind Rangers. If we win this, we are going to lead the league, and I do think there are some playoff rounds in the Scottish Premiership as well. So if we lose this, it isn't all over. However, it would be nice to go into the playoff rounds with as big of a gap on Rangers as possible. Rangers are still unbeaten, so if we win, it will be their first loss of the season. But there are a reason they are first in the league, because they have been pretty good this season. It's a difficult game, but a big one against Rangers. And this is the first proper test for us. The Benfica game was a big game, of course. However, it was just a couple of weeks after we came into the team. But now we have been here for a couple of months. It's a big game, the first derby against Rangers. Come on Celtic, let's show them who we are. Matondo, he finds Igmane early on. Igmane, but trusty with a huge tackle and interception. That was a very big one by our American defender. Finds McGregor in the middle. McGregor, he just takes the ball with him very nicely here. With a big true ball to Ademaida. Ademaida with the shot. Ademaida, the shot is wide, and that should have been 1-0 to Celtic at Celtic Park. And that is a big miss by our number 9. That should have easily gone in. Igmane, what can he do? Igmane tries some skills, passes it, and Matondo with a good attempt, but a big save by Nick Pope. It's been a game that has lacked quality so far from both teams. A lot of unnecessarily missed passes by both Celtic and Rangers. But now Rangers are in the attack. Igmane scores. It's 1-0 to Rangers, and they have taken the lead despite being the away team. Igmane with a decent attack, or a decent shot, sorry. And Rangers are leading 1-0 at Celtic Park. Tete finds Maeda down the left, who has been very good for Celtic this season. He tries the shot, but a good save by Jack Butland. And we win the ball there. It's a big mistake by Rangers. Ademaida to Kuhn. We do the safe one. We just pass it to Kuhn, who had just to hit the open net, and he do so. And we have equalized in the 45th minute. And that is a very good play by Aida. Despite being the number 9, he isn't selfish there. He goes for the assist, and it's 1-1. We loses the ball in a dangerous position. It's James. It looks like it's Daniel James, which we know got a lot of pace. Igmane, can he go for his brace? He passed it to Matondo, but Austin Trusty with another huge interception at the back, and now it's all us. Hatate with a good pass to Maeda. What can our star player do? Who's been on fire for Celtic, and we hit the bar once again. That's now 2 crossbar hits in a matter of like 20 minutes. And Rangers on the attack again. Igmane, he gets past our defenders. He tries the shot. He goes for the brace. But Nick Pope's got no issues with saving that. Corner kick. Can we head it away? Yes, we do. Now, let's use the pace. We can't. We loses the ball. Barron tries the shot. Another save by Nick Pope. And we are under the pressure right now. And maybe we got one last attack here. McGregor finds Jota, who is now on the pitch, to Tierney. Kieran Tierney tries to find Jota. It's a bad pass by Tierney. And maybe Rangers got the last attack to Igmane. It's a good cross, Igmane. And Rangers have scored. They scored with the last kick of the game. And they have stolen the victory at Celtic Park. And this will not make us a popular man by the Celtic fans, losing a Glasgow derby in the 93rd minute. The first derby as well. Oh no, this is a big shame. And that is a horrendous ball loss by Kieran Tierney. And Igmane with a wonderful strike. And Rangers have stolen the victory and are now 6 points clear. We have to bounce back against St. Mirren, and we do by winning 2-1. Motherwell is up next. Can we get back-to-back wins? Yes, we do. Another 2-1 win. The replay of the Scottish Cup against St. Mirren, and we are through to the next round. Aberdeen is always a difficult game, especially away from home, but we win 2-1. And now Dundee FC of the last game of the normal league, and it's the 3-3 draw. And as we can see, we are in the championship group of the second stage of the Scottish Premiership. We of course finished the first one with 73.6 points behind Rangers. We had a better defense than them, however, they scored a couple of more goals, but we have the same goal difference. They went unbeaten, invincibles in the first stage by losing a total of 0 games, while we lost 6. However, they got a lot more draws. So it is a battle between us and Rangers and Celtic, who we of course are the managers of, and Rangers. I am a bit unsure about how this championship group work. I do think we will just continue with the points we have, and we'll play one game against each of the other top 6 teams. It will be interesting. Hopefully we can take revenge on Rangers when we are playing against them, which will of course be the last game of the season. But up next, it is a big semi-final game against Aberdeen in the Cup. You can see Maeda is still our top scorer, but he has slowed down a little bit. He's now got 29 goals and 11 assists in 44 games, which is still pretty good. Kuhn has 25 goal contributions. Engels have 14 goals and 1 assist. Aida have just got 3 goal contributions in the last 10 or so games, I do believe. Hatate has stepped up, which is very good to see. Matty Cash, 2 goals and 1 assist from right back. McGregor, our captain, 2 goals, 1 assist from the DM position, but we know that he isn't there to get goals or assists. He is there for the passion, for the defensive skills, and to just destroy every attacker we are up against. Can we get to the Scottish Cup final? We have to win against Aberdeen. We win 3-1, and that should see us through to the Scottish Cup final, if I am correct. And yes, it is. And it is, of course, against Rangers, which means we will play 2 games against Rangers to end the season. This one could be absolutely meaningless in the Scottish Premier League, but the Cup is the aim now. The Premiership, if we can or have a chance to win that, it will be wonderful. But I do believe we should win at least one of the 2 possible trophies, with the Scottish Cup being the most realistic one. Can we get another win against Dundee FC? We do by winning 4-2. Hearts is up next in the Scottish Premiership, and it's another win. Can we also win against Hibernian? We do not. It's a loss, and that probably means that our chances of glory in the league are out. Against Aberdeen, can we win? We win 4-0, which is a big result. However, all depending on Rangers' result, because we were of course 6 points behind. With 1 loss, I do not think we have any chances of winning the title, or they have played 1 less game. So the last game is meaningless, which means we will not play this. We will only play the Scottish Cup final. Despite that, it would of course be very nice to win against Rangers, but we lose 3-0. And as we can see, Rangers won the Scottish Premiership very comfortably. They won it by 8 points. So yeah, 9 points. Sorry, I can't even do maths, which is a way too big of a gap. But yeah, we couldn't unfortunately save Celtic's league season. However, we got a Scottish Cup final to play for. It's against Rangers, of course. It's a huge final. We've lost 2 out of 2 possible Glasgow derbies. Let's now make it our first victory in the Scottish Cup final. And I am willing to say it's the biggest game of our Journeyman career so far. Yes, we've won the Norwegian Cup. Yes, we played some big games in the United States with DC United, but a Glasgow derby against Rangers in a cup final, it doesn't get a lot bigger than that. It's a must win. Come on, boys. What a chance to end the season, or the first season, with Celtic on a very good note. Yes, we didn't win the league, unfortunately, but that would always be difficult, despite us making 2 big signings by signing Kieran Tierney and Nick Pope. However, Igmane is looking to go up straight away, and he scored again. And that is the 3rd goal he scored against us when we have played the game. And we have got a nightmare start, and Rangers have taken an early lead. And this is not what I was hoping for in the final. Maybe we can bounce back straight away. Maeda to Aida. Come on, Aida, now. You have to score. You have to score. You cannot miss those chances. And maybe we need to look for a new number 9 next season, because Aida, in the couple of games we have played, has not been good enough. Matondo on the attack once again for Rangers. Matondo against Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers wins it. Matondo wins it back. He gets the cross in. This could be 2-0, and it's a big mistake by Nick Pope. It's a huge mistake by Nick Pope, who is signed to make our defense more stable. And Rangers have doubled their lead after just 14 minutes. What are we doing? Kuhn with a good ball to Maeda. Now we need to score now. If not, it will be very difficult for the rest of the game. He finds Engels with a good skill. Arne Engels, he tries the shot, but Butland with a save. Can we create something from the corner? Carter Vickers, it's a good header, but it's straight at Jack Butland. And it's another good chance for us. Hatate. Now we are on the attack. Surely we can create something good here. Surely we can. But we don't got a lot of support. Engels finds Kuhn. Now you have to score. You have to score. You have to score. He does. Kuhn makes no mistakes. We are back in the game, but we still need to score more. Atate, Maeda makes the run. He tries to get behind the defense. He doesn't, but he keeps the ball well. Maeda. Maeda. This time, Maeda. This time you have to score. This time. He misses again. I can't believe it. How many good chances do we need with this Celtic team? And we go up straight after the second half have started. Adamaida, this time though. This time it's in. We have turned it back. It's now 2-2. And in my opinion, that was one of the worst shots we'd had. Yes, it went on goal, but I do believe Butland should have saved this one. Tate, we are now all over Rangers, but we need to take the advantages of that. Adam Aida, this time can you score a brace? He does, and Celtic have completely turned the game around. It's now Celtic 3, Rangers 2. Taji tries the shot. It's a interesting save by Pope, not the most convincingly of saves. However, the most important thing is that it didn't go in. Rangers on the attack. James, what can he do from the right? He tries to find Haji, who finds Igmane, who has of course been a very difficult player for us to stop, but it's a big save by Nick Pope once again. Hatate looks to find Adam Aida, who has of course already scored 2 in this game. Can he go for his third? He keeps the ball well. He looks for Maeda down the left. Maeda. He's not had the best of finishes so far this game. He tries the shot but saved by Jack Butland. Daniel James once again down the right. Daniel James against Trusty, and he wins it, and it's just to clear it away. Rangers, do they have one last chance in them? They probably do. Igmane, he tries the shot, Igmane, and of course he scores. And Rangers have once again scored a very late goal against us. Thankfully this time it isn't a winner, it's an equalizer. But we had the win in our hands and we've thrown it away straight at the end. We now possibly look to go for extra time. Unless we can create something here. Kieran Tierney to Maeda. Maeda, can we maybe create something straight at the end here? And we do! We score right at the end! It's Kenny who's just come on the field, and we have scored a winner just a couple of minutes after conceding a heartbreaking last minute goal, it seemed like, against Rangers to make it 3-3. Kenny has now made it 4-3 in the Glasgow Derby in the Scottish Cup final, and we are set to win our first trophy with Rangers and Kenny, who looks to be the match winner. And that is it. Celtic have won the cup final. And what a crazy final it was in the Scottish Cup. A proper derby by ending 4-3 with a last minute winner. And we have won the Scottish Cup and first of hopefully a couple of trophies here at Celtic. And this is of course the squad that has won the Scottish Cup. It's a shame that we didn't manage to win the league, but at least we won one trophy. But I'm happy with how the squad is looking. Adam Aida has had some struggles, but in the final he was very good, especially towards the end of it. And I am unsure about what signings we need to make in the next season. Maybe a new defensive midfielder, because McGregor, he has dropped down 2 ratings. Maybe we get some big offers for one of our key players such as Engels, Kuhn, maybe Maeda as well. Maybe even Matty Cash. That means we have to sell them, because if I get some big offers from Premier League teams, for example, I will not just keep them here. I will have to sell them to keep some sort of realism in this save, as we didn't really do that at DC United. But no point thinking about what can happen. We will just take it once we are in the transfer window in the next summer window, which is just a month away in the save. Let's just take a quick look at the stats. We can see Nick Pope kept 4 clean sheets here. I hope for something better from him, but it doesn't really matter. Maeda was the top scorer, 31 goals, 13 assists. Kuhn, 23 goals, 10 assists. Engels, 17 goals, 2 assists. Adam Aida ended on 13 goals and 9 assists. Hatate, once he got the first team, went to the starting 11. He has had some very good improvements in terms of goals and assists. Now 20 goal contributions from him. Matty Cash not too involved. Kenny scoring 2 goals, and one of course was the winner in the final. And I do think Glatzel will retire. Yes, he will retire at the end of the season, and the same goes for Ismaili. The Scottish Premiership didn't exactly went as we hoped for. However, we knew it would be difficult once we came to the Celtic job, as we were like 9 points behind, I do believe, when we took over. We made a gap to 6 points in the first stage of the league. However, in the second stage we lost it back to 9 points, which is a shame. But thankfully, the Scottish Cup, we got the revenge we wanted after beating them 4-3 in the final, in the most dramatic final I probably will play in a very, very long time. The Champions League winners were Bayern, who won 2-0 against RB Leipzig, and we of course went out in the league phase after finishing 28th. That is it of this Journeyman career mode episode. We are now at Celtic. We will stay at Celtic for the next season as well, but please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will talk to you guys next time.